You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good game. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for Louie. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Louie news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off, and the buzz continues, Louie.
And it is Louie on AfterBuzz TV. I am Steve Bottomley. I'm joined in the studio with me with Tamara Berg.
Hey.
And Gian
Molina.
Thank you. I was supposed to write that down and I forgot.
Yeah. You could have just asked me too.
Usually John Comerford handles this job, which I am so thankful for, but he's not here today. Can we tell where he is?
Yeah, he's busy being a great, big, fabulous actor today.
And where will he be? Where is he acting?
He is doing Mad Men.
He's on Mad Men?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's just being an extra, though.
Get out of
it sounds so glamorous.
Wow,
no,
you built that up so high.
I know, I did.
He's
Still,
on Mad Men. He got an
still
arc.
even that you're
it's
still gonna
cool.
you will just look and just look at him because of his presence and his aura.
Yeah, you will.
And he's always
You
going to
will.
be doing this no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll
Going.
just wander. So
Yeah.
I was surprised because last week it was kind of a cliffhanger. And we were talking about, it's going to be, it's going to carry over. It's going to be, and it wasn't. He just kind of dropped that one and said, no, we're moving on.
Because life is
like that. So
Yeah,
I'm going to assume that he just put the girl in a suitcase and sent her home.
right.
15-year-old. That was
Yeah.
the last we saw of her. We're done. So we had 2 little mini-sodes this time.
Yeah.
And the first one, he starts off in the club.
God,
Yep.
I love
Talking
that.
about sleep.
He's so good with specifics. Like, that's what makes that joke. It's not just a sleep is like someone
Right.
blowing me joke.
Right.
The specifics of it was so great.
Every little detail.
Even
yeah.
talking about the dead language and the 40 tongues
Right.
and the
Oh my
heroin and all this stuff that he just spirals off.
Well, and I think sleep to you is probably like one of the, probably maybe many of the things, but the one I'm going to talk about is submerged in a deep river of chocolate sleep.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice.
Do you get offended with kind of humor like this? With
No,
crude?
uh-uh.
No,
No,
yeah,
I don't
'cause
get
you were-
offended.
you were- yeah,
No, I was absolutely laughing. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I don't
perfect.
get offended by it. No.
that's awesome.
She, we can't even say most of the stuff she writes. It's just, oh my God, seriously, damn, what? No.
What?
But,
Dial
But I
it
will
back,
say,
girl.
I totally relate to that moment of you're so deep in sleep.
Yeah.
And then, when my boys were little, they come in, and I think they pretty much know now that unless something's on fire, or the amount of blood is bigger than they can contain,
Right.
then we're going to wake them up. Because until then,
How many times did it take him to learn that, though?
not too many.
And it's always like that like sleep that you wake up a little bit and now you're enjoying the sleep because you're like, I feel so good, and you're just feeling it. That's when something happens.
Yeah.
And you don't just have to have kids to get
No,
disturbed.
no.
And
And
the
then-
phone rings.
Yeah.
Your roommate decides to ask you a question.
Stinking
that's-
garbage truck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta
And you
move. I gotta
know-
move the car.
And
'cause-
you'll never get back there.
Never.
You are
Never.
never going
It's
to you're going to like
painful.
lay down, and you're laying down and you're thinking you can't sleep because you just want to get back to sleep.
one of Louie's jokes that I love quoting, he talks about how like he loves sleep so much he's given up whole careers because like he just wanted to keep sleeping. He's like, well, I guess I just won't do that now. I'll just keep sleeping and then let that career opportunity just float away, and I'll just be something else.
And after a killer set, after his Deep Africa Sleep killer set, he meets Stephen Wright, who
Yeah.
I've not seen in a while. It was
I know.
really great to see him.
I
He's sitting
just-
at the bar.
I just watched Half Baked again, and I don't know if you recall, he was the guy on the couch.
Yeah.
Like he's just like a random character, just a guy on the couch who just kind of does his job.
Who, in his own right, has an amazing comedy
career.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so fun.
And what does he tell Louie? He tells him he can't go home. Louie's
What do you
like
mean go
ready to
home?
go home. I
Yeah,
got 2 kids.
done.
No. You own the club. Now you have to get some
Yeah.
tail. You have to stay here. And then I love it. He goes, well, is that no? I don't. I have a family and a wife and 2 kids.
Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, don't be an asshole.
But Louie says, good advice. I'll do that.
I'm
Sits
sticking
down.
around.
No,
Doesn't
that's as being a comedian myself. That's when you get hooked up with women
After killer set.
Only after killer sets, because then I don't know. For me at least, it's hard to talk to women unless they approach me.
Of course.
And especially if they approach you to be like, wow, you had a really great set, or you were really funny, then the confidence
Totally breaks
just-
the ice. You're
Yeah.
ready to go.
Now, do you feel pressure to? Oh, I got to be funny, or is anything you say going to be hilarious?
Being a comedian, we're done. Like life has shat on us, and we're just giving it back to you. That's pretty much what we're doing. And if the glimpse of a woman going like, wow, I like that. He was really funny, and I want to approach him. We just take that. We don't expect anything, but when it happens, it's like, well, I have to take
But
advantage.
you don't feel any pressure like, no,
Not
I
at
got to
all.
be funny. Or,
No, not at
Do
all.
you figure that they're waiting for you to be funny again?
Yeah. I mean, I've been on dates with girls who I've hooked up with after a show, and they kind of want you to entertain the entire time.
Yeah.
The minute you show you're real or like your real self, then they're like, well, I guess I'm not that into you anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a real person.
No. So he's gonna get tail, and he's gonna get laid, and
Yep.
he first of all has no idea what kind of whiskey to order. Something brown that makes me feel different, and then
What a great
proceeds
line.
to wander the bar.
Yeah.
Has no
Lost
idea.
and forlorn.
40
And
days in the
that's why
desert.
you don't expect it to happen, because the minute you're like, oh, sweet, I'm going to definitely hook up with someone, it won't happen. Or if you tell someone, watch, let's do this show, we'll hook up with some girls, it's not going to happen.
Not gonna happen.
That's why you don't have expectations as a person.
Right, but the last woman who goes, hey, great set.
Yes.
You were fantastic. And
Yes.
he's looking at her, and this is what's going through my mind. Oh, look, good looking, age appropriate, fantastic. This is going to be awesome.
Yep.
Too good to be true.
And she
Too good to
asks
be
him,
true.
asks him for some headshots for the website.
Oh.
And he has no idea who she is.
No.
That's the other thing I loved about it. Was so
I've hit on managers before, or assistants to managers.
Oh, no
thinking
kidding.
like, oh, sweet, it's just some girl who liked me.
So that exact situation has happened to you. Oh, nice.
Everything in Louie's show has happened to him, I'm sure. I relate so much to this show, and I think that's why I love it.
Yeah.
Because not just because Louie's my favorite comedian right now, and like we're kind of getting into the life of a comedian. This happens. Life is sad.
well,
It's sad.
well, that's interesting.
Oh, that's
because,
why you get to be
because-
funny, because it's sad.
Because what happens next?
Yes, this is where I'm curious to know if this has happened. Where he
Yeah.
goes out to the street, and sure enough, there's a cute
Hot babe.
hot babe in the car,
in
very
a fancy car.
very smug, very
Yeah.
in control, telling him how good the set is, and you want to come in. And the thing I loved about it is they show the car lock just going doink. It's like, what does that mean?
Are we allowed to
So-
say her famous quote? Like, I don't know how censored we can be in this thing.
Well, it was on the show.
It's on the show.
So what does she want to do? She wants.
I'm not saying it because
I want you to say it.
because that's the little clip that
Yeah.
will get pulled out of AfterBuzz and played on TV or whatever when a news story is done about,
Fine, I'll say it.
Tamara
She-
Berg caught at the airport with blah blah. I'm not saying it.
Hey, it's
not.
publicity. Okay, she says, I just want to show you my pussy.
Yeah.
Which Louie, if you've seen most of the other episodes, he always like goes into fantasies. So I was actually nervous that this was
right.
like maybe like a fantasy where he's just like
Yep.
thinking this would be the coolest thing if she said that to me. But no, this is actually what happened.
That's what I was thinking. Is that we're gonna cut back in after the end, and he's just gonna be sitting at the bar or whatever.
like.
So
just go
so
upset.
and here's the thing. It shows what a guy will do for the promise of sex.
Yes.
He gets into the car.
Yes.
Every time he's like thinking this might not be a good
This
idea.
is
This
so
might
nice.
not a good
You
idea.
just see her put her hand on his crotch. And it's like, oh no, it's a good idea.
It's
Everything's
never.
fine.
No,
It's a good idea.
even then, he probably didn't think it was a good idea. But he's like, I'm not gonna tell her to stop.
This is the other thing I really liked about this is you see the two worlds that he works in. He works in this nighttime where it's just this weird sort of, everybody's someone different.
Yeah.
And then he's got to like go into the daytime where everybody's 9 to 5 and, it's hello, how do you do and stuff. And he's got to navigate both of them. And it's such a great clash. I like how he does that.
Well, I mean, because he's showing you his life. He's pretty much, he doesn't deal with the 9 to 5ers. That's not what he does. He takes his daughters to school,
right,
when he has them, and then he probably sits home and write all day, and then life starts after your set. That's where I feel like most of my nights begin. Is like, oh, I did a show. Let's hang out now. Let's meet people. Let's mingle. Let's do something.
Right, but the people that are out there are different than how they are at their 9 to 5 job.
Right.
But you're not. You're the same person when you're there or when you're back with the normal people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
That's the same with Louie. I mean, he's like, I'm the same guy. Yeah. So he gets to see both sides of humanity.
Right.
Because, the girl, Eunice, who took him home, and he got to meet. And
wanted to show her something.
Yes, and he got to meet John, the husband. Mm-hmm. She's probably they're probably very legitimate, very, upright sort of people, 9 to 5, and yet there they are.
Now you have to ask yourself, would you have done it?
Gone home with her?
No, not gone home with her. I would have totally gone home with her. Like the situation that's presented where. I didn't even said threesome. She just said he wanted to watch.
Right.
Would you have gone through with it?
Well, okay.
I had to ask myself, would I have
married with 2 boys?
No,
I'm not even going to be in that situation.
It says no. This situation, let's say Louie's position.
Oh.
If you were him.
If
I were him, no, I'd probably do what he did.
You probably do what he did?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't be able to do a threesome, but I probably would have gone through
the voyeur part of it.
Yeah, in a heartbeat. But I had to be like, what would make me go home? What would make me go home?
Well, I think John did a pretty good job of getting him to go home when he got.
Oh yeah, get out, get up.
And I love that. She goes, "Well, what right do you have to think that you were gonna?" Like, and then what right? And I'm thinking, what right do you have to play with this guy to bring him home as some sort of toy? And then if he doesn't want to go, do that, and then just throw him into the, kick him to the curb.
That's just brilliant writing.
Rich, that's what it is. She's rich. She thinks that they can do anything.
And every time a comedian is kicked to the curb, there's only one person to call.
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, yeah, another
comedian.
And you have to call Chris Rock, who is just sitting on the couch waiting for the call. And again, the thing I loved about it is you didn't really get to see the wife, but you heard the wife.
Oh, yes.
I told you not to hang out with him.
So funny.
You ruined his life. He's going to ruin your life.
So funny. And I love that. Well, you know that that Louis C.K. actually was a writer on the Chris Rock show. They won an Emmy together.
Oh, okay.
So they have a relationship. And recently on HBO, they had this session, like this, almost like a special called Talking Funny. Did you see that? That's awesome. Louis C.K., Ricky Gervais, Chris Rock, and Jerry Seinfeld just sitting around and talking about comedy.
Nice.
It was so amazing. Yeah. So these guys have a relationship. They're friends. And I love that Louis, with his show, he's used that and brought his friends back and brought like that cameo with Chris Rock. That's so... I love that. That makes me, as a fan, super excited about seeing that.
Right, 'cause it's another layer, sort of.
Oh, yeah. It is. It was great, and after he gets picked up, and he's got to say, "I said I'm sorry, thank you, and I'm sorry." I think I said thank you.
Chris Rock is scolding him.
I know. Chris Rock gives him
awesome.
You've got to grow up speech.
Well, that's 30. That's 30-year-old shit. Like, you don't. Okay, you want to see your pussy. Like, make sure it's just pussy that's in New York.
Exactly. Same
so
area
funny.
code.
Which is one of the great lines in this episode, yeah.
Now, and here's the thing I kept going back to.
Next time, find him in New York.
He wanted to go home. He wanted to go home, and instead he listened first to Stephen Wright, and then, he just went on this stupid adventure because somebody put it in his head. No,
there might be sex.
This is what you're supposed to do after you have a killer sex. It's like, okay, all right. Here we go.
If I'd just done what I wanted to do.
Exactly.
Moral of the story?
Moral of the story is
go home. Just go home. He into
And
so
then
much trouble.
He closes that one up with the back at the club, where 40% of the stuff he does is going to the grave. You know, when he asked that, when he says, "Let me ask you something. How much stuff do you do you're never going to tell anybody?" And I'm like going, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, oh yeah." And 40%.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And especially for a comedian, where just that's your material.
Right.
But it's embarrassing. There was this incident involving prostitutes. It's a story of mine. I'm not going to say it on here because a lot of people are involved. And I don't want to. Anyway, there's a story I tell. Yes, I'm like you. I told this story in a very open, like at a show, at a very open place. I was dating a girl who came to see the show. And I go ahead and tell the story, thinking like, well, it's a funny story, even though it's embarrassing. She walks out. She walks out, and I'm like, I don't see her at the time, but when I'm done with my set, I go,
"Where's my gal?"
I go off and I see her at the valet, and I'm like, what's going on? I run out to her, and she's like, "I didn't know you were into prostitutes. That's I'm really glad I came so I could hear that." I'm like, no, but did you listen to the story? Like, yeah, okay. My intention was to go out and find a prostitute, but I was drunk, and like I had to explain this. I had to explain a lot of things, and I was like, "But it's a funny story, right?" And she's like, "No,
I'm not seeing the humor.
I think
in
we're done." And I was like, "Oh God." And then I didn't care. I told the story again the next night. I was like, "Nah, screw it."
Oh, he's a performer.
Yeah.
The woman's leaving. You go,
Whatever.
"Yeah, but please, I just need a critique."
You gotta go for the joke.
Yeah, if you're not gonna like that, you're not gonna like a lot of things. So
Well, that's it. You
So
know,
bye.
I'm not going to edit. I can't edit.
Good
I can't
ones
edit.
early
Okay,
on. Yeah.
So the second episode, the mini-sode, was her friend, and do you know what her friend's name is?
Pamela.
Pamela, who, if you're not familiar, she's the mother of a friend of Serge.
Serge, who's goes to school with Louie's daughters.
Right. And they've had a few play dates, and Louie has always had kind of like a thing.
And we don't mean play dates. We mean play dates.
Play dates, yeah. They weren't taken to New Jersey. They were just play dates.
Louie falls in love with her.
He does.
Well, their first meeting is they bond through their kids. Louie has been in love with her since they've met.
And she's been honest the whole time.
She's been honest. She's like,
no.
"I think you're disgusting."
No.
And then, but she's
you're-
also as crude as Louie.
Yeah.
So
They both have
that. I've had that so much where you're like, "Wow, I've never met anyone like you. You're so terrible. I love you."
There's no chance in hell we're going to be together.
But that means I want to.
No, really, seriously, no.
I think you're
No.
lying.
No.
No, now.
No.
Give me a couple years.
No.
One day.
Seriously?
You're gonna be desperate.
No.
You're gonna be desperate enough.
desperate enough.
I've had
There you go.
I've had many of those.
There's a
But
line.
she might come back.
One day.
I've had many of those, and you know,
Oh,
it was harsh to hear. Just move on.
Yeah.
Get over me. Stop it. And I'm like, oh God.
What? And,
And he's not. He's just like,
No.
but
You
but
can't.
you,
I mean,
but
you
you will,
can,
but
you can't.
But you will. And she says that's it. So he tears up a little bit. She goes, "Okay, that's it."
Yeah.
And here's the thing that I just loved about it.
Yeah.
They do the modern version of Casablanca, where at the end they walk into the fog to the
Right.
plane. No, she's got to first of all go through the first guy with the gloves and everything, and then she has to cue. And he's standing right there with his like puppy dog eyes. She's queuing back and forth and keeps looking over at him. It's
the zigzag goodbye. Is
so
what
you
I wrote
can't
down.
just walk away in an airport now. You have to wait in yet another line, wait in another line.
There's something comedy, like most comedies don't value that sense of awkwardness. That happens so much, and it's not fun at all. But that's not.
But it's hilarious, to watch.
Exactly. I would hate like if I was in her position or even his position,
Yeah.
I would probably stay too. Watching her not like me staying and watch her, or as her going like, "Why is he still here?"
Right.
That kind of stuff is not even fun to tell as a backstory, but seeing seeing that awkwardness and the silence of it, Louie.
Her
nail that. They nail
absolutely.
that.
Her look over her shoulder, like,
Oh, for God's
why,
sake.
why? And
Stop it already.
up the stairs, up the escalator to the top, and again, the genius of the writing. She turns, and she starts to wave,
Wave at me.
Wave
dummy.
at me. Wave at me. And finally, he's not. And so she yells.
You called that.
Wave
Called
to
that.
me.
I did.
Yeah, I know.
I
You
did.
You did. And she says, "Wave to me."
Sorry,
and
I
she's
blew
yelling
it
and
for you
yelling and
guys.
yelling.
No. You were just in. You were in the.
I was
You
just
were being there.
Yeah.
I didn't see it coming. You did. And what does he hear? Wait
for me.
And that was the thing. He's yelling. They're yelling. She's yelling. They're yelling. And
that's
I loved
all-
it.
and that's
he
all
walks
he
out
needed.
happy. He walks out happy.
That's all.
Pamela, I will
Wait for you. And she's like, "What? Okay." But that made his day. And you know what? God, and it's sad to say this. Sometimes you need those little victories.
Yeah.
Even though
Even
it
if
was
they're
a
totally
false,
misguided.
it was misguided and false, but it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Sometimes you need those little things to be like, all right,
The
Yeah.
rest of his day was awesome from there.
I'll be
Awesome.
able to get through the week knowing that
God.
Pamela.
I'm waiting for Pamela because she wants me to wait for her.
I just love it after the whole build up. No. The last thing he hears is "wait for me," because he knew she would come around. So I think do we go to a commercial at this point?
Sure, let's go to a commercial.
Are we ready for a commercial,
Let's
Ben?
pay the
Big Ben in
bills,
the
as they
Big Ben
say.
in the booth.
Are you ready for a commercial?
We are.
I think we are. Do you
Yeah.
have one ready to
Go.
go?
Or we should do the commercials
Am
ourselves.
I moving this too quickly for you?
Oh, for God's sake, Ben, play the commercial.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig! The wig will come out.
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on.
Okay, so we have gotten our AfterBuzz on, and don't really have any.
Has the Emmys passed?
No, Emmys are
coming
in
up.
2 weeks.
Okay, well, I mean, the big news that has still, you know, I talked about this the first time I come on. Louie's nominated for 2 Emmys
Right.
He is
Right.
indeed.
for writing and for himself as an actor.
Yeah.
Which I was very thrilled. I was also hoping he would get nominated as a director. I don't think he got nominated as a director because he directs most of these, and it's fantastic. It's so great.
You know, I was just thinking about the budget of this show because I'm very you know, it has to be so tiny. But the one that I just watched the other day was the Afghanistan one.
Right,
You know,
right.
and I'm
Afghanistan,
watching that
Malibu.
going, huh?
Malibu, Afghanistan.
Malibu, Afghanistan. Yeah, same thing. The budget in that, and I was talking to John actually about it after I saw it. I was like, what's the deal with the budget on that show? They have, you know, and he goes, helicopter, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, then this, you know, they're in the airport, so you had to pay for the location and all that
Right.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And there are extras. And I'm just, yeah, I know, but still. But
Not John. John
don't-
is getting paid.
I don't
well,
pay my
and
extras.
I got treats.
John's on
set.
Mad Men,
You
so
did get
he's,
treats
he's
on
a
set.
he's a good extra.
He is. But anyway, I mean, how can you have such a tiny budget and still be able to do those sort of things? And I'm thinking maybe it's because he directs, he writes,
he edits.
And also, Louie's
know?
now popular. It's a popular show now.
Right.
So now the money's coming in.
Right.
So now Louie can ask for bigger budgets.
Right.
And I'm sure they still like modest because I'm sure it's Louie getting all the money for certain things that he controls.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, like, you know, if you wanted a helicopter for 3 days, it's in FX budget because of how inexpensive the show is.
The rest of the show.
Exactly.
Is, yeah.
So yeah, he's has the perfect blend for a TV show, I think.
But it's so much of what really makes this a fantastic show because the comedy is as excellent as we've already established. But then when you can add things in like great locations that don't look like a studio, you know, go to Malibu/Afghanistan, have
Even
you
this
know,
shot
have all
right
these
here,
extra
they're
characters.
just in the car.
Let me ask you something
Right.
about this shot.
They're just in the car.
And with Pamela, I got the feeling that they were just ad-libbing right here. That they just kind of said, okay, here are the points we want to cover.
Oh, I'm sure.
I feel like
You know
a
what?
lot of the show is that though.
But especially with this little Minnesota, this second half, I got the feeling that they just kind of went, okay, here's where we want to cover. Let's just, And I may be totally wrong, and if I'm wrong, that's some really, really good writing because that was just a real natural.
I think Louie probably knew exactly where he wanted this scene to go, but they've worked together so much that they know each other, so they can improvise that.
Yeah,
I believe that.
I would be really surprised if
that.
In the Car was none. And I know that a lot of this is scripted, but yeah, look at that. I mean, that's pretty deep.
7,
Yeah.
and 75 extras,
Yeah.
$85 a day,
For
or something like that.
For a shot. For a shot.
Global Air must have put up a lot of money.
A lot of money.
So anyway, yeah, well, Paul, and I'm with you there, Gian. I think he should get a nod for directing because, here's the thing. I will just sit and watch those two talk in a line and be captivated.
Right.
And that's everything. That's writing, that's directing, that's just
performance,
being
though,
able
too,
to
a
sit.
lot.
Yeah, so I
Also,
think
I don't know if you noticed this, but whoever scores this is brilliant.
yeah.
Like that. Even though like he's writing like earlier in the episode when he's writing with Eunice
Eunice.
on his way to Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
The music playing is so classic and it's so New York. I felt that old timey New York feel just with the music. Excuse me.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember in this music it was kind of light. I think it was kind of I can't remember directly, but I remember thinking that's
The feeling of
the
it
feeling was kind of light and upbeat, which is like she's leaving.
You don't have a chance in hell with me. Seriously. No.
So
Sad. I was like, oh, God.
the
I just went through that.
How many more episodes do we have in the season?
No idea. Probably.
Oh, right, because we weren't able to get internet access.
This is the season.
Oh, this is the finale.
This is I would imagine this is a
I
good
thought it was.
finale.
I thought last week they said so. This is it. This is the season. Okay, well,
Yep.
he'll wait for her
He will.
until next
Pamela, I will wait for you.
Predictions.
We will-
This is getting picked up again. We're gonna see more Louie.
season.
I don't see how we can.
You jumped the gun.
Your AfterBuzz.
Ugh.
You have to wait for the bumper.
Big Ben is chastising you.
Big Ben.
Hey, Ben, can you tell us in a second, because it's going to take you a second to do this, who else is in the categories nominated for Emmys that Louie is nominated in?
Yeah, because I don't have any.
Which would be best writing,
best writing
Writing
for,
over
for
comedy.
comedy, and then I guess best actor.
Yeah.
Yes.
best actor
Lead
in a
actor.
comedy
In a
series.
comedy. Yeah, thanks.
Predictions, yeah, I'm with you. It's going to come back. But now we've had a couple, at least two, in this season where he split it. And then we had an hour-long special.
Mm-hmm.
Season 1 had a lot of splits.
We had what I thought was a cliffhanger.
right?
So it'll be.
You're still hanging on that cliff.
I am. Yeah, I really am. So it'll be interesting to see if he kind of decides, or if he's just going to kind of keep mixing it up. And
it's actually a cliffhanger that even carried over to here, because now that I'm analyzing the situation from the first cut and then this one, he never goes home, so we don't know if she's there.
I think.
And he said I got to go pick up my kids.
I think the union said you can't use the kids anymore this season. He's like, oh, okay.
Aren't they his kids? I don't know.
So yeah, we
think
didn't
they
see
are,
the
yeah.
kids at all. He referenced them, but
That'd be an awesome cliffhanger for next season. Now he has to deal with 3 kids, and who knows? I can't wait. I hope to be on this show actually.
well,
We're not getting that info right away, are we, Ben?
predictions are we all saying that it's
The
coming
internet
back?
is not
Or
being
internet's down.
helpful
Oh,
to me.
okay.
No,
Oh, okay.
I'll
That
get it
was
to
the
you in
problem you had. Okay.
another second.
We'll get in the liner notes.
So anything going on?
Yeah.
You want to talk about, Jan?
Yeah, man.
What's up?
Let's see. Every week, every Thursday night at 11 p.m. in Hollywood, I host a show called The 11th Hour, which is an improv-based show. It's 3 teams from around the city, really awesome teams, and it's free.
Where?
Hey,
It's free. It's on Santa Monica and Seward. It's at the Artworks Theater.
Artworks.
It's right in the heart of Hollywood. Every week, free. We have free beer, free water, and we just run on donations. So you give us a
Nice.
donation.
did you just say every week you have free beer?
Free beer and free water.
Wow.
And you actually gave the address. You're insane.
Santa Monica. It's on the corner of Santa Monica and Seward. Come. It's a free show.
11:30 at
11
It's 11
o'clock
11
on
o'clock.
Thursday night.
Thursday
And we've
night.
had some amazing performers. Like we've had John Daly, who does a lot of Funny or Die, Seth Morris, who's written for like SNL, a lot of people that are just in the active comedy community, both for sketch and improv.
Nice.
Great.
Come on down and perform. It's awesome. So if you're around the LA area, come on by to the Artworks Theater Thursday nights. And if you find me, I don't know, I'll get your info and then I'll get you one of these cool mugs, AfterBuzz mugs.
Buy you a free beer. Not to mention,
I have the list.
Ooh, the list.
So the outstanding lead actor in a comedy series.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have Matt LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc from Episodes. That's a good one.
That's an I, but that should be an L.
Matt LeBlanc.
Okay, Jim Parsons in The Big Bang Theory.
Oh yeah.
Steve Carell in The Office.
Okay, you might get that one.
Probably because he got fired.
Johnny Galecki in Big Bang Theory.
Okay, Johnny. We see where this is going.
Alec Baldwin in 30 Rock.
30 Rock.
Okay.
So there's 6 in TV?
And Louie, right?
And Louie. And outstanding writing, there is Episodes.
Oh, God. The Episodes is, I would give it to either one.
Okay.
The Office, Modern Family, Louie, and 30 Rock.
Well, those are a couple of tough categories.
Wow. Well, yeah. In this thing, being nominated is quite the honor.
No kidding.
That's some talent.
Yeah.
Some very talented, some very, very good shows.
Have you guys seen Episodes?
No. Is it on HBO?
It's on Showtime.
Showtime,
it's
that's why.
so good. Matt LeBlanc is phenomenal in it. He's amazing in it. He's so good.
Is this their first season?
First season.
Nice.
Watch it. It's 7 episodes with an amazing cliffhanger. And Matt LeBlanc is just perfect. He plays a heightened version of himself. And it's great. And that's the only one out for me that would contend against Louie. I mean, Louie blows my mind, but the pace and comedy of Episodes really won me over. So that's where my fight is. In all honesty, I think Steve Carell's going to get it.
Right, because it's last season with The Office. Yeah,
it's an industry thing. I feel like that's where that's going to go.
Well, and writing, it's just you got Modern Family, you got that's a really tough set of competition to be in.
They're all up there for a reason.
Yeah, and I think probably the biggest problem that Louie would have is just how many people have seen your show. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And to be honest, I mean, you do have to kind of hang with him for a few episodes before you lock in and go, oh yeah, I get this. This is really cool.
Well, I mean, and this is his first one, his first nom.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be in the category of people that get nominated year to year, hopefully. I'm hoping. And he will win one.
Right.
He'll get one of, and maybe, and let's hope that he gets that director nom.
Right.
I think he should.
But, I think Louie will get his Emmy. He already has one for writing for Chris Rock show, but he'll get another one for his show.
For
and if
each side of the bookcase?
Yeah. Right. And if nothing else, this is obviously going to increase his visibility and popularity.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Speaking of visibility and popularity, Tamara, what's going on?
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
I'm excited.
actually, just yesterday, we were shooting new episodes for my show, The Tamara Twist, which is a lifestyle show that is going to begin airing on Monday on PBS in El Paso, Texas.
Excellent.
So it's pretty exciting. It's really exciting. It's incredibly exciting.
I did catch a couple of those episodes, and the production value and the beauty is awesome.
Oh, stop. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about you because you're an extra in a couple of them.
It's the only episode I watched.
An unpaid extra, as always. Hey, Philip, what do you got to say?
Look what I just...
Look.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Wow.
That's right. Can you guys hear me?
We can.
All right. I don't have a headset, but anyway, I just wanted to share that Gian is also in a movie called Serial Buddies.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I was going to get to that.
Yes, Serial Buddies. It's the first serial killer comedy movie, and it's set to preview in Boston September 20th. So if you're around...
Oh, that's 2 days after my birthday.
Is that right?
I think Maria should take me.
Oh, man.
Oops.
Or you can start driving now.
Yeah, and you might make it there in time.
I think
maybe you can get in the van.
That's plausible. I think I'll just start driving now.
Why don't you get in the van and just put a couple of posters on the side and
That's right. Do a little road
you
trip.
can write the
tour.
whole thing
I
off.
should like hold mini previews where I charge people
There you go.
to like, here, watch this movie I'm in, and then
Watch a couple scenes.
help me get to Boston.
Help me get to Boston.
Taking donations.
Steal some of that free beer.
Or like Louie, I could just find someone to show me her pussy in Boston, and she drives me to Boston.
There you go.
Right, exactly. There you go.
Yeah, easy.
No
There you
problem.
go.
Be a problem.
So if you're interested, it's September 20th at 8:45 p.m. Check out BostonFilmFestival.org for all the details and tickets.
BostonFilmFestival.org.
And the reason Gian looks like crap is because Tammy was the costume designer for the movie.
Yeah.
And Gian can't dress himself.
I did not dress him today, though. I just want to say.
Wow, do I look like crap? It's just hot in the
Dude,
valley.
I hope not, because
It is hot in the
we
valley.
went to the same fashion designer, man. T-shirt,
It's just super hot in the valley, so I wore
I didn't
shorts
dress
and a
either one of them.
just T-shirts.
All right.
forget
Well,
that
if
this
there's
is
nothing
on-
else, Ben, get us out of here.
Big Ben.
Once
Yeah.
again, though, that's BostonFilmFestival.org, September 20th. You won't want to miss it.
We have been AfterBuzz.
After buzzed.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Boston.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.